Hey guys, and welcome to part 2 of our, I guess you would say,
Gamescast. I like that.
Gamescast of our personal favorites of whether it be, the one of the series, this one being boss battles, and the third one being favorite pro and antagonist, which you'll see on Friday. But welcome to Wednesday's episode of Improv Gaming's Gamecast here on youtube.com/Improv Gaming. As always, I'm joined with Mr. J,
Bird.
Mr. Nick,
Fabulous.
and Mr. Joe Rush.
I don't have a word.
I don't have a word. Hi.
Hi works for me.
And my name is Don Quixote. No, my name is Pete, and we are talking all about boss fights.
So my question is seriously, we didn't answer this. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No, it's a sausage.
Is a hot dog a sandwich, Joe?
No.
What would you describe it? Is something else?
Something else would be a good way to put a hot dog, yes.
Anywho.
Thankfully, there are no hot dog boss battles, I think, for any of us. So, Nick, you ended last time, so you're going to begin this one.
I'll begin with all that jazz, which is, you can find us. Because that's how we start this, you son of a bitch. Jeremy starts with the one up. I start with all that jazz. Isn't it? That's what I thought.
Okay, go on.
I'm listening. Okay. I just needed permission from the Holy Trinity. All that jazz. You can find us on youtube.com/Improv Gaming. You can find us on Facebook at Improv Gaming, space between the two words.
Yeah.
You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Improv_Gaming, and you can email us at improvgamers@gmail.com.
Which a lot of fans did, so we would do this episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is awesome.
It's sweet. So, actually, my favorite boss battle, it's a toss-up for me. And I'm having a really, really tough time trying to really pinpoint which one I'm going to select. Now, if you know, my runner-up for the last episode was Zone of the Enders. And one of my favorite boss battles was Jehudi versus Anubis. And it was a nice battle. I thought it was great. I thought there was a lot of fantastic detail in there finally in part 2 when Jehudi was fully upgraded, and then you had to fight Anubis on his own terms, and you had the abilities that he had in order to go toe-to-toe. But that was, again, a runner-up because my favorite boss battle was Sora versus Ansem in Kingdom Hearts.
Ooh.
Nice pick, right?
Ooh, I might have to think about this
nice
stuff
pick,
now.
right?
Why is that your favorite?
I just thought it was so amazing, right? You go into the boss battle, and you're going like a fast-paced boss battle. This is Final Fantasy II, when you finally found out that the guy that was creating all the nobodies was Ansem, and then you go into fight, and then finally you find out that it wasn't Ansem. Then he goes into Xenohort, which is Ansem's assistant. And that was the guy that was actually creating the nobodies. And then you go into this another fast-paced battle, and then suddenly he turns into a giant, and you have to destroy him. And I thought that every aspect of it, just the curveballs left and right in the middle of the fight, where the storyline curves, and you find out more about who it is that you're fighting as you're fighting them. I thought that the way that played out was just fabulous. Like my ponytail.
Nice.
Damn right.
There you go.
What would be your favorite boss battle?
I'm going to have to take a page out of Nick's book and give you a runner-up and finalist. First, I'd have to go with Metal Gear Solid 4, Metal Gear Rex versus Metal Gear Red.
Ooh, that's another good one.
Just because okay.
Pete's like wetting his pants right now.
Think about it.
He's like, oh,
4 Metal
wow.
Gear Solid games, and you finally get to drive one.
Yeah.
And it's not anyone, it's the one you blew up in the first game, and you're just like, all of a sudden you get into it, and you have Otacon controlling it with Snake, and all of a sudden you see Rex come out of the water, and I'm just like, I remember, I started playing that, and all of a sudden I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. I get to drive Rex? Oh man, just how you finally finish off that thing once and for all. Put down the Metal Gear that's supposed to kill your Metal Gear. Love it. And favorite boss battle has to be Dante versus Virgil, Devil May Cry 3.
Oh,
damn it.
Nice.
You go through all that crap, you go
Nice.
in the basement of the tower, you fight through all that bullshit, you get to the doppelganger fight at the top of the the penthouse of the tower, and then you get to Virgil. And just, that was
at the tower. You're thinking
tower.
about the tower one, not the final battle in the third game. where they're in like the
They're in
river.
hell. When they're in hell,
Yeah.
that's there's a final battle.
I'd have to say both of those actually.
Yeah.
I do like the tower as well.
But the tower made it because of the friggin' 20-hit combo when you can just block that out and just destroy them apart. Then you go into hell and you finally finish them off. Just how that game takes place before the first game and it connects it. The battle to the first game connection just does it for me.
Are you gonna skip you to go to me? All right, mine is Nemesis. I mean, it's not that he was a hard boss. He was just my favorite boss to fight back in the old days of
Yep.
PS2 Resident Evil. You know, you got so many ways you can kill him. Great grenade launcher, shotgun, etc. It's just fun fighting him.
And he keeps coming at you.
Yeah, exactly. He keeps coming at you. It takes a while to kill him. He's not hard, but, you know, he just keeps you entertained for a little bit, and he's going on about stars.
Yep.
I don't have any runner-ups, but I do have
Wow.
some honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions.
Some honorable mentions.
Some. Watch this laundry list.
The Kingdom Hearts fight with Captain Hook,
Okay.
because I'm a big Peter Pan, Captain Hook fan, so to have that and fly around and face him, definitely an honorable mention.
Nice.
I will take Metal Gear 4, but I will take the last fight between Liquid and Snake, and like
okay.
where the music's going in each stage. You go through Metal Gear Song 1.
Yeah, you've talked about this one
into
before.
the
That-
fourth, and just that climax where you just punch and you're both just cinematic, which is a lot of my choices for
That's
big
what I was
ones.
that was the big one. It's either Rex versus Ray or Liquid versus Snake, and I had to go with Rex versus Ray. Sorry.
Batman just came out, and I would be a fool not to mention the Deathstroke battle in Batman Origins.
I disagree.
Really?
I hated that fight.
I loved
I
it.
hated that fight.
die on purpose just so you could play it again?
Yeah, I died like 30 times just to do that sequence because it would just be counter after counter. It was absolutely fantastic.
Good fight. Just, I hated it.
Now, I have two close ones. One being one of my favorite games of all time, Resident Evil 4, when you face Jack Kryder in that knife fight on like
Nice.
towards the end of the game where like it's quick time events, but it's also just that fight and the dialogue, very beautifully done. But if you want, ladies and gentlemen, if you want a great boss battles, you must play Shadow of the Colossus.
Yes.
Because every time you played that game, you were going against these behemoths, and you had to figure out how to get up there and to take 16 of them down is absolutely fantastic. From the first one to getting all the way up to the top, where he's throwing you around and you're holding on, and this little guy who's nothing is being tossed around like a rag doll. Absolutely fantastic. Definitely check Shadow of the Colossus out if you haven't. Especially since Last Guardian and them are very closely together. But I would definitely have to say, hands down, it would go to Shadow of the Colossus. I know that's many, but just as a whole, each boss is just, you have to figure out with either you shoot the hoove and he goes down and you climb, or you just climb to the top, or you just have to jump on a bird and grab it and just hold on for dear life, and you have to attack these certain body parts while everything's going on. You don't need enemies. That's the kind of game you don't need enemies. You just need a challenge ahead of you that will take you 6-7 hours to beat, and you had a great time doing it.
I agree. It's just that end of the game is just so. That end of the game tore me apart. Just
Yeah.
how like you don't get the girl at the end, and just how you get fucked over. I remember beating that game, and just I was like, "What? I'm dead." I'm like, what the fuck, man? I flipped. But did I agree? Definitely amazing boss battle.
Now, it wouldn't be me without throwing a curveball.
Of course.
here we go.
Here we go.
We said our favorite boss battles, so we're gonna just quickly go through. What is your most frustrated boss battle you've ever had in a game? I'll let you guys think, and
I
I will
have one
actually
already.
start.
Think of this one.
Oh, you have one? Go.
Deathstroke from Arkham Origins. Here's the deal. I go in, I know how to counter. But what do you see when it's counter, and I can't punch the guy in the face at least once, it gets frustrating. I died to him probably 20 to 30 times before I finally beat him.
Do you guys have one yet or not right now?
I don't.
I really don't. I don't know if you would consider it a boss battle.
Well,
But my most frustrating time that I had ever playing a game was as Dante up against the Spider Scorpion. Phantom. That was probably the most frustrating time I had playing a boss.
Because when you first start the game out, you're not well equipped, and they really handicap you
and
that first couple levels.
It's such a steep learning curve.
Yep.
That fighting against that as the first boss was annoyingly difficult, but I got through it.
And then you play it the second time, and you jump on his back, and you just shoot him to death, and you're like, oh, that's
Pretty
what you do.
Very nice. Kirby's Cursed Rainbow, that final boss, because it was just so you had to have the precise, like, drawing, and it was so frustrating. That was definitely bad. But one of the worst ones I think I've ever had was Sin in Final Fantasy X.
Oh yeah.
Where I would just blow him past aeons, but he would keep healing himself. I couldn't tell you how frustrated I was getting with that. Because I had my team of Yuna, freaking Tidus, and I had Orin. And just keep playing. I love the game to death, but that was just...
I kept on cursing him so that then whenever he healed himself, he actually injured himself.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why
I'm better at it than you.
Well, you are the RPG man. I mean, you do love Final Fantasy VII.
I'm not a fanboy. I'm not a fanboy.
Who won Best E3 this year for us?
Nintendo was the runner-up.
No mention of the first place?
I mentioned that Nintendo was the runner-up, I believe.
Did you ever come up with one?
It's an old one. Maybe Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Oh, wow. Nice.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Because you got to spend the whole first round just dodging him, and, he knocks you out, you lose.
And
It's
you're done.
one-hit KOs, that's why.
Yeah.
That's...
Wow,
If
I
you're an
forgot
old
about
school
that fight.
Nintendo guy, that's a
That's
tough
a fight.
one.
Yeah. If you guys have been liking this, we have our next video coming up on Friday, which is our favorite antagonist and protagonist. So that should be fun. But make sure you keep on checking out on Twitch at Improv Cap or IPGJBird, where we are going to be streaming on Thursday. We're gonna surprise you guys. We have some ideas in mind, but we're gonna surprise you. So make sure we'll keep all the information going towards you guys. So make sure you check out all our stuff on YouTube at youtube.com/improvgaming, at Instagram, on Twitter at improv_gaming, on Facebook where you could do improv gaming, space between the two words.
Third video, dumbass.
I just wanted to mess with Nick there. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you on Friday for part 3.
Part 3 of this mini-series.
You know what? Somebody else is going to introduce part 3. We'll see you guys on Friday. Game on.
Game on.
For us. So,
Alright.
I'm trying to leave here like 8:15ish.
Okay.
Bang
So
on.
the
So
next
hopefully Pete doesn't have 150 favorite bosses and
one. Yeah.